Peace, peace, and good morning. 11:11 over on the Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I'm hopping in at a good time. Tell somebody you love them in a language they can understand it in. That's how I usually end my videos, right? Complete my videos. Today I'm gonna let that be the beginning of the video. Like, I need to discuss that real quick. Because y'all have heard it. If you watch my videos to the end, you've heard it. Y'all get it. But how many of us are really taking that to heart and really being sure that we are following that we're telling somebody we love them in a language that they can understand it in? What do I mean by that? There's a lot of us out here that are speaking to people in our own language that's not even their language. And I ain't talking about English. Let me be clear. I'm not talking about the English phonetic language, Latin, Mexican, Spanish. No, I'm speaking to the soul of the people. If you telling somebody that you love them, is that an important thing to tell somebody? If you ask me, it's one of the most important things. That is one of the most important messages that I feel like we'll ever send to somebody else. I love you. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to the person you're speaking to? What do you want it to mean to the person you're speaking to? If I tell you I love you, it means something. And I want you to understand what I mean in totality. I want you to understand the place that you hold in my life. I want you to understand the place that you hold in my heart. That sounds like something very important. So am I telling you that in the language that you can understand it in? All right, so here we go. Like, what do you mean? You just said you don't mean right. To say I love you, what does that mean to you? I'm gonna be very clear. When I say I love you to somebody, it's different than when you say I love you to somebody. When you say I love you to somebody, it's different than when they say I love you to somebody. So the gist of it is, what do you really mean? When you're telling this person you love them, what do you really mean? What is it that you really trying to get an understanding of? And are they getting it from you saying that? Let me tell you something. For me to tell some people I love you, sometimes I don't even say I love you. I pull up with a plate of food. And that person immediately, when they open that door and I hand them that food, they know I fucking love them. What about picking somebody up from the airport? People don't have people they can depend on. People have people that will only come around when it's something beneficial. What about those times when I need something and it's not beneficial to you? Matter of fact, it'll take your time, your energy, your money. But I need that and I want that. And you bet I'll do it without a question, without a second. That's you telling that person, for you, I love you. I wouldn't do this for most people. I'm not getting out of my bed 12, 1 in the morning to go pick up too much of nobody from the airport. Let me be very honest. But if you ask me, yo, you'll pick me up from the airport? It's like 1, 2 in the morning. I'm like, man, I got you. Out hesitation? Motherfucker, I love you. And you know that because you know I don't even pick people up from the airport. I lay these names. I La. Matter of fact, I ain't got to try to pronounce it. I just do that. Stick that up there on there like that. She says, my love language is food. Yo, I can dig it. I can dig it. You know what I'm saying? Those people who like, it ain't, and what I'm getting, she's not saying take me out to eat. She's not saying, oh, take me to a restaurant and I want a 5-star meal and I want to taste some lobster with the ooh. No. If I correct me if I'm wrong, when she say my love language is food, that means if I cook for her and bring her food on a paper plate with aluminum foil over it, she is going to be feeling like I love her, I care about her. I had somebody tell me one day, I don't eat food off no paper plate. She said, once I stop feeding you, it's done. Oh, so your love language is feeding people. Oh, so in other words, if this young lady right here pulls up on you with a plate, she telling you she care about you. You know what I'm saying? Like she just said, once I stop feeding you, it's done. So what I'm gonna tell you how I rate it is once I start being fed, I'm in there. I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? What is your thank you, peace, Queen, for being very clear. So let me ask you, if you cook for me, we married. Hey, I was just about to ask. So what does it mean if somebody cooks for you? There it is. You know what I'm saying? There it is. Like, what is your love language? And not that love language that we're aware of, which I'm in full support of, and I do love the acts of service, the words of kindness, all of that. That is beautiful. This is saying how to deal with an individual based off what really livens them up, right? So right now, what I'm saying is when I say tell somebody you love them in a language that they can understand it in, I guess it would be kind of like that. I guess it would just be a little bit more specific. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think cooking would be an act of kindness, right? But those of us who like, yeah, you could sweep my kitchen. That's an act of kindness. It's not going to have the same effect as you're cooking for me, right? So the acts of kindness, the words of encouragement or affection, touch, all of these different things. For me, it's not as simple as touch. I have people who be around me and touch me sometimes, and it's a little bit aggravating because it's not where I want to be touched. Not, yeah, it is aggravating. Like I'm one of them people who I haven't had a lot of physical contact unless we fighting or fucking, right? So with that being said, it's just anybody touching me is kind of odd. So if I'm sitting and somebody walks up and starts talking to me, their hands on my shoulder, I might do one of these, like, yeah, what's up? Like, you know what I mean? But if we sitting and we chilling, we talking, and you start rubbing my back, ladies, and you start rubbing my back, oh man. Oh man, you start playing in my hair. Oh, it's not sexual. This is I guess it could be classified as intimacy, but I'm saying touching me, like you put your hand on my leg, it's not gonna have that effect. But rubbing my back, that's gonna calm me. It's rubbing my back is like how they say, rub my back and say, baby, it'll be okay. And that's real to it, like me, baby. Never having to give my pussy away and keep it tight. All right. That's what we talking about, all right? But my key in saying this is that when we're talking about telling somebody I love you in a language that they can understand it in, I am a firm foundational believer that this also needs to be done most essentially when you're angry, when you're bothered, when you're upset. How can I display to you that I love you in an argument when things are bad? A lot of people need that reassurance, right? So I think that a lot of people, when they get upset, that's the moment where whether I love you or not doesn't fucking matter. And that is the wrong idea to have. That's when it's most essential. That's when it's most important. At the times where what we have seems to be, can be, and remember, Mercury retrograde is coming up in a week or two. So keep these things in mind. In times of turmoil, argument, negativity, this is when these things are most important. How do I tell you I love you in a language you can understand it in? Keep that in mind. See how that is like a little different, like when it's like, oh shit, yeah, it's a little bit like, yeah, because you want to stand your ground. We arguing, isn't it? Oh, baby, I love you. No, fuck that. I'm upset right now. I'm mad right now. I'm angry. I don't like what happened. I don't like what we went through. I don't like whatever it is. But I still love you. Is that important? I think at those times it's most essentially important. For me, this is when it's like, look, let me make something very motherfucking clear. I love the shit out you. But this shit right here, you know what I'm saying? I like to include that. It's whether this is platonic, you know what I'm saying? I had a situation. Some of y'all might have been following the post, and I said, somebody from I ain't talked to in years hits me up out of nowhere. They're like, yo, you know I love you, right? I'm like, yeah, I love you too. They like, yo, you silly, or something like that. And it's like, yo, can I borrow $20? And I'm like, send a request on Cash App. And he's like, yo, you crazy as hell, man. I'm just bullshit. I don't need it. I'll call you back later. I was like, all right, whatever. And I posted about that, right? The individual called me later on and explained to me what was going on. And they said that they were having a discussion with somebody who was doing some work at their house. This is not a new person to them. This is somebody that they considered a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're here. I called you to do this because I needed it done. Of course, I'm going to support you. The person had their bag and set it somewhere in that person's house. So while they're doing the work, they kept looking at the bag. And so the individual says, yo, if you don't mind me asking, why you keep looking, you know what I'm saying, at your bag? Like, is something wrong or is something, what's up? Like, I'm not being in your business. It's just kind of, I'm noticing, and it's like, you keep, like, you know, I'm just wondering what's going on. Individual tells me, he says, yeah, I got a lot of money in the bag, and I'm just watching to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, don't nothing happen to it. The dude was like, bruh, nobody's here but me, my wife, and my daughter. Fuck you trying to say? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, something basically like their you know, discussion went about it, the disagreement, this and this and that. And he said, man, listen, man, I don't care how much time has been apart that we ain't been together around each other. I don't care about the bullshit that we went through and we are. When I tell you, you my man, and I love you, that's real. And I guess the guy was basically saying, nah, you know, that's some bullshit. Like, you know, when shit happens, it changes how you deal with people, how you feel about them, what you will do for them, with all this. And he was like, man, this is a white dude. I got a fucking friend right now in Detroit. We've been brothers for 10 years plus. We played poker together. We worked together. We did construction. We did all of this. And the last time I seen him, we cussed each other out. And we almost went into a physical fight, which is true. I was at a job. He said some shit. And it was like, you trying to sun me, motherfucker? And I took the gloves off and was like, yo, what's up? Like, motherfucker, you got me fucked up. Like, woo, 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 right? Da-da-da-da-da. I left, got an Uber, went home. So he's telling this dude this. He says, if I call him right now, he said that motherfucker will tell me he love me and he'll give me money. He said, man, he crazy as fuck. That's what I'm saying. People change, things change. He said, hold on. Here's the call. Calls me, hey man, you know I fucking love you. I love you too, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the shit that we went through, that shit wasn't important. It was something that happened. But he knows I love him and I know he loved me. And so that was that part of shit. So I guess he had me on speaker. I didn't know at the time. He's like, yo, I need to borrow some money, man. Can I get 20 or something? And I'm like, shit, yeah, man. Send me the request. Man, I love you, man. I'll call you later. Boom. That was when he went back to the conversation with whoever it was he was talking to. So what I said, once he explained it to me, is like, oh, now I get it. But the reason he was able to make that call is because we tell each other we love each other in the language that we understand it in. When he said on the phone, you know I love you, bro, it was a little odd to me because he don't say that to me. I know he loves me and he know I love him. We've been through a lot, and what we've been through and how we've responded to those things, that's how I know. He tells me he loves me in a language that I can understand it in. He ain't got to say it. His actions, I know that he's like, I did that because I already know. I appreciate it because that's exactly what the fuck I needed. You know what I'm saying? When I went through depression And I got the pad, the house that the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit, where everybody come to. We know it was vandalized and all of this. We working on it now. But when I first got it, you could go in the room and look up to the sky and see the sun. It was a hole in the roof, a hole in the attic, a hole in the ceiling, right? He's a roofer. He came over and he patched up and fixed the roof for free. Because he knew what I was going through. He knew the depression. He knew I could get up there, but where I'm at, and that is what I'm talking about. No matter what we go through, what we argue about, I know that's my man's. It's certain people that I already know. They ain't got to say it. But if they do, I know it's true because you've already said it in a language I can understand it in. Now you saying it in the language that is what they call default. When we tell people we love them, it's a default. I love you. All right, show it. What do we do to show it? That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes into those times of turmoils, those things are just as important. How do I tell you I love you? In a language that you can understand it in. Not that I'm comfortable with, but that you know that it's real, it's sincere, it's genuine, regardless of what we're going through, regardless of the struggles, regardless of the argument, regardless of the bullshit, you're gonna go through that. If you truly love people, you're gonna go through that. That's how I always say, I know who really loves me. I don't know if you love me unless we've been through some negativity, unless we've been into an argument, unless we've been into a maybe sometimes physical altercations. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a verbal altercation that caused an emotional shift to where it's like, yeah, things have been cool. Like, because of course, when you are around people who are beneficial, I met you somewhere, we chopped it up. Oh, you do that? That's dope. I do. Oh shit, we're beneficial to each other. This is, most of these be business or associates. When we say that people are our friends, are they? Because until you went through some negativity and came out on the other side and they're still there, they're not. There's just no need to have broken the association because everything has been good. So for me, when I go through some negativity, I go through some strengths with a person and come out on the other side, they love me. You know what I'm saying? This is no longer just a business associate. Our business can stop. Whatever we was doing could stop. We'll still be fucking with each other just off the strength of the relationship. Because we know how to tell each other, I love you in a language that I can understand it in. You know what I'm saying? It's very important. And these are the different ways that we have to keep in mind, the different things that we have to keep in mind when we are navigating these relationships. There's people that I know love me that have never said it and probably never will, and that's okay. And there's people that love me every day and they ain't never showed it. Well, not every day. No, I wouldn't say no. There's people who tell me they love me and they've never shown it. I've never felt that. I've never, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying is like, there's people who use that, say default, like, yo, I love you. And you be like, okay. Very interesting. Do you? Because when I needed you, you wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? When I requested you, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of different ways to show, again, that you love a person in a language that they can understand it in. You know what I'm saying? There was people who I had no idea loved me. And they showed me. And I became aware of them while they were showing me, like, wow, I know they telling the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? And these things are beautiful in one way, but in another way, it's like, we need to do a better job of communicating effectively with individuals that we say we love. Are you sure that every person that you've ever told you love, that they believe you? That they feel that from you? There's people who tell me that, and you know, I'm very verbal, so I'd be like, if you open to it, I don't feel like that. You tell me that, but you've never made me feel that way. The things that you do, how you treat me, how you respond to me, how you act with me, those don't make me feel loved at all. So I just want you to know that you saying that is, not having the effect that you might want. And I'll be clear about it. I'm very open. Then there's people who I know love me and just do some fucking bullshit, ignore me, and and it's strange. It's strange, right? It's strange, but that's why it's important to have the knowledge of this and to effectively utilize it. Like, I can put the actions by. When I tell a person that I love them, I don't think that there's too many people that I tell that they can't. Yeah, I know, because blah, 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 right? Are people receiving the love that you're sending them? Because you might just be, imagine sending a financial, like some people, they love languages, finances, right? Imagine sending $100 to somebody every week, about 2 years straight. Then you come see them one day and you good because you was showing all this love, and you pop up and they like, the fuck you want? It's like, damn, that's how you act with somebody who love me. Motherfucker, please. If you love me, you would do something for me. What you mean? I've been sending you all of that for like 2.5 years. I ain't getting not a motherfucking dollar. Wrong bank account number, whatever. They never received it. That is how some people telling people that they love them is like, those people like, yeah, all right. And they like, when the time comes to actually have an encounter, the other person is like, what the fuck is you talking about? Just like that person who never received none of those hundreds of dollars. And now it's kind of like, whatever. Like, even just that person trying to tell you, no, I literally have been sending you $400 a month. I've been sending 52. I sent you 5,200 every year for the, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I hear you. All right. Yeah. All right. And then when they see the money going and the 1-digit change in the account number, is like, damn, hell no, you have been, huh? Even receiving an acknowledgement that it was real, still don't have that, what it would have been if they would have actually been receiving that. It's kind of like, oh, damn, you really have been sending that. That's crazy. Start sending it again. Right? Let's build it up, and then we'll come back to this point. But even then, it don't have it. It don't have the actual. It's very important that you make sure that the value that you're sending in that love is being received. It's like, I grow cannabis, and there's approximately 22 essential elements, 16 nutrients needed for these plants to thrive. And I can concoct a solution that I feed to these plants every other day, feeding them good as hell, spending hella money to make sure that I'm feeding them perfectly, and they're getting every meal that they need to be award-winning strains. And they're suffering from deficiencies, meaning they're not getting enough nutrients. Why? Because the pH was off. We have to make sure that our pH is within the right range so that the individuals we're giving the nutrients to can actually absorb them. Some nutrients are only absorbable between 6.2 and 6.8. So I need to be in that pH range for you to even receive it. That's the point of in a language they can understand it in a language they can receive it at. Remy, peace, God. It's one of my brethrens that right there. You know what I'm saying? And my mans, he tell me he love me in a language I can understand it in. You know what I'm saying? And likewise, because his understanding and what he accepts in his nutrient range is a little different. If you love somebody, learn what their pH is and what that round, it might be a 5.5, it might be acidic than a motherfucker. 5.5 to 6.2, I'll rock it at a 6.1, just so you can, right? Figure out where their pH lies at. Figure out what their thumb screw is. Figure out what they care about. Figure out what it is that they need. And those are the things that you speak to. Those are the things you respond to. Those are the things that you offer, that you give, that's gonna have that person like, yo, they really are paying attention. It's the same as with intimate relationships. When you're with a man or a woman and you're trying to get into their special space, to a special spark with them, space with them, experience with them, right? You figure out what they like, what they enjoy, and you feed that to them. It's the same thing. Business relationships, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Brother and sister relationships, same thing. Hey sis, I got your tickets to the symphony. I fucking love the symphony. I know you always talk about that goofy ass shit. I'm gonna go with you too though. I don't give a fuck about the symphony, but I know you do. See, that's that pH. That's that. Like, oh, I bought you this expensive ass car. Why? To show your friends you bought me a car, motherfucker. I don't even like driving. You could have bought me $69 tickets to the fucking symphony, and you bought me a $30, $40, $50,000 car. Like I'm supposed to be happy. You're not doing what I like. You doing what you want to show off. Look at what I bought my sister for her. Like, get the fuck out of here. And people be confused as fuck. Like, oh, she ain't shit. No, she is. She knows exactly what's going on, and it's not love. I take pride in observing people, so I like this topic. Acts of service and gift giving are mine. And that's why you offer acts of service to me and give me gifts. And I can understand that. See? Yeah, man. Yo, these things is very important. And like I said, that's my brethren. That's my bro. That's, you know what I'm saying? But he's, like he said, he studies. You know, because I do as well, like acts of service. Like, you know what I'm saying? That means a lot to me. That's why I said that picking somebody up from the airport, same thing. You know, because I know, like, for me, it's like, I love you, I'm going to come get you. And I know that a lot of people ain't finna come get me. And when they do, it's like, oh, yeah, they fuck with me. They love me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Ghost. You know, shit. Shout out to Chris. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to different people out here. Like, I ain't gotta put it out there. I know y'all love me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't ask for a lot. On purpose, I don't ask for a lot of people because I don't like to be told no. Right? So it's like last resort for me to ask. And I'm only gonna ask people that I think that love me because I don't want to be told no. And I hope they say yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to build on that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just get on here because it's a message that's real heavy on my heart that I feel like I need to share. And sometimes it's because my heart is just real heavy. And this is y'all hopping on, listening to me, responding. This is my community telling me that they love me in a language that I can understand it in. You know what I'm saying? Just giving me that attention, giving me that village, that cohesive. Like, I got somebody, like, I got people out here who care what I have to say. I got people out here who care how I feel and what I think and what I have to offer. Y'all just being numbers on here is telling me y'all love me in a language that I could understand it in. So sometimes I hop on and do a live because I need that. I need y'all. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And shit, do I need to say it? Tell somebody you love them in a language they can understand it in. Peace. 222. Oh, thank you, baby. I appreciate that.